Hello and welcome. I'm Captain Bob, and today we'll be assembling the Wright Cessna 172 panel. Included in the right side panel kit, you will see the instruction manual, the hardware kit, and the panel itself. We can start by unwrapping the panel. Here is the panel. You can send DXFs to customize this to your needs. In my case, I have a Captain Bob flight simulation switch panel, a real sim gear cutout for the GPSs and radios. You may want to consult the user manual for assembly, as it has a nice legend that marks out clearly which pieces go where. To get this to mount to your desk, you'll need a VESA monitor stand. You'll see one of these linked in the description below. These usually include a pole, an arm, and a base. Assemble this following the instruction manual in your monitor kit. Once you have it assembled, you can add it to your desk. You may want to leave these slightly loose so that you can adjust the height of the panel as you go. Now it's time to unwrap the hardware kit. You'll likely find it helpful to unwrap everything and sort it out. First, we're going to take these two spacers here, and the vertical left spacer. If you have your panel, these would be on the left side, like so, but behind. Now get your piece labeled C. It's the left-hand rear stabilizer. Get your two hex spacers and your two monitor arms. Place them like so, and then tighten them about halfway. Don't fully tighten these just yet, as you'll tighten them in a later step. You still should be able to move these around. Repeat this step for the piece labeled D. This is your right side panel support that would go like so. Now you can get your long M4 black screws and your J acrylic piece. Now, if you have these standoffs facing up, like so, you can have the acrylic piece behind the metal pieces, and then stab these screws through and tighten them on the back. You can now use your 4M4 screws to tighten them down. To reiterate, we should have piece C, piece J, and piece B, and then the stand-ups coming through them, the support arms, and then the backing plate here with the long screws coming out of them. Next, we can flip it back over. For orientation, this is the right side. We can now use D on the top. You will have to rearrange things, even press these down, and then E should be on the bottom, and again you will need to rearrange some things. That's why we left these slightly loose. So now we have E on the bottom. We can use the largest and shortest screws here to tighten E down to the arm right here. These ones you can fully tighten. You can also get D over here with the same short M6 screws. These screws are labeled K. Now you have all of this arranged. I just like to make sure that this is parallel with these two. Now I have all 4 acrylic pieces here, all 4 metal pieces here, and the J. If you can't adjust things, you may want to loosen these screws here, and you may want to slightly loosen these screws here as well. Now, with D facing up, you can place this panel right here, and you can adjust everything so that it fits where it should. Using the long M6 screws, tighten down the face of the panel to the standoffs. Now going to the back, we can tighten all of these screws as much as we need to get everything rigid. We can now make this square, so when it's mounted in the visa, it should be level with the ground. Adjust it as you need to, and then we can finally tighten these screws. The entire structure should now be rigid. You can now lift this up onto your visa monitor mount, and then you can tighten these M4 nuts. Now you can see this is mounted to the VESA stand. You can adjust the panel height using the monitor stand here. Once you have your monitor here, you can put over the Cessna 172 panel, adjust its height, get it to line up. You can use this addition. This is piece A, it's the joiner piece. Peel off both sides. That's really satisfying. And then the side with the slightly bigger holes goes on the right. Unscrew these screws right here and replace them with this panel. Now, on the altimeter motives panel here, this is sold separately. Unscrew this nut right here. Make sure to save the hardware. Unscrew the top screw here. You may need to get a pair of needle nose pliers to remove this nut here. And then slide it over, line it up, and tighten both the top and the bottom like they were before. Use the M4 washer included in the kit and tighten the M3 nut right here. Now take this long M4 screw and the M4 nut. Get your pair of pliers and you can catch the nut right here and tighten it down. Once it's caught, finish tightening it. You can also add the existing washer and nut. Now you have a cohesive altimeter motive Cessna 172 panel, and you can insert any hardware you need through these screws. You can use these screws in the bag and attach your hardware. Now you can see the entire setup, and if you get a dual VESA monitor arm, you can have both of them based on this monitor mount right here. Be sure whenever you're moving this to take care not to snap this connection piece right here. So make sure to be careful if you're moving the entire setup, and if you want to have a simulator that's easy to take on and off, like I do, you can go away with this piece if you don't mind seeing the split. I hope you enjoyed this altimeter motives tutorial. If you have any questions, use this contact information here. I hope you enjoy your altimeter motives panel, and have a good one.